Hello everyone, this is Daniel with FitnessBlender.com, and today I'm going to be taking you through a free-form Pilates routine, which basically just means it hasn't been pre-written. I'm going to be making this up as I go through it, which is exactly how I used to teach my Pilates classes, my group fitness classes back in the day. So, this should be a lot of fun. You're not going to need anything for this other than a nice thick exercise mat if you're doing this on a hard surface. And there's no warm up and cool down. This is going to be kind of bringing you up and bringing you back down, so no need to add one of those in. It will be included. So other than that, let's go ahead and get started. All right, everybody, we're going to be doing two different groups of this, 14 minutes each. Each exercise we're going to be doing for about 50 seconds with about a 10-second break in between to move back and forth. First exercise is going to be an imprint. So go ahead and lay down flat on your back, knees about a 90-degree angle, thumbs to the base of your rib cage, fingertips across the crest of your hip. Take a deep breath in, arch that back up really nice and high. Those fingers and thumbs should be getting further apart. Exhale down, suck that belly button in nice and tight, press that lower back against the ground, fingers and thumbs getting closer together. Inhale it up, arch it nice and high, exhale back down, pull that belly button in nice and tight. Just keep going back and forth, nice and slow. Just concentrate on exaggerating that motion as much as you can each time. There's about 5 seconds left. Last one, inhale. Exhale it down. Pull that belly button in and freeze it in that imprint position. Our next one is going to be a toe tap. So starting with that left leg, bring it up. Tabletop on that knee, so 90-degree angle on that knee, 90-degree angle on that hip. Slowly back down, let it touch. Same thing on the other side. Try to keep that 90-degree and 90-degree from your hip. Back down, just keep alternating back and forth. Keep that belly button pulled in nice and tight. Don't hold your breath. Keep your lungs open nice and wide. Make sure that you're not contracting really tight and holding that breath in. So again, watch that knee. You don't want that knee to open up more than a 90-degree angle, and you don't want to bring that knee in past your hip joint. So there's a 90-degree on your hip. Just keep alternating back and forth. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. You're not trying to take a full breath. This is a nice, short, small breath. Don't want you to hyperventilate. All right, give it just a second. Keep that imprint nice and solid. We're not letting those abs relax quite yet. We're going to do a chasing toe tap. So starting with that left leg first. Left leg up, pause. Right leg follows. Left leg down, right leg down. Same thing again. Left leg up, pause. Right leg up, left leg down, right leg down. Still keeping those abdominal muscles nice and tight. Inhale that leg up. Exhale the right side up. Inhale left side down. Exhale right side down. Again, keeping those lungs open nice and wide. Not holding your breath, but still keeping those core muscles nice and tight. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just keep them going. Nice, slow, fluid motion. Again, watching the angles on the knee and hip. And go ahead and let that relax. Again, keeping those abdominal muscles nice and tight. Don't let them relax quite yet. We're going to start over again, this time leading with the right leg. So right leg comes up. Pause that knee, or right above that hip. Same thing with the left. Down with the right, down with the left. So again, that breathing as we inhale that right leg up. Exhale that left leg. Inhale back down with the right. Exhale back down with the left. Concentrate on pulling that belly button in nice and tight. Sucking that belly button back towards that spine. If you need to, just lay a hand on it to remind yourself to pull it in nice and tight. Otherwise, hands just down on the ground next to your sides. Now these are going to be getting progressively harder and harder, so if you start getting to the point where they're too difficult for you, by all means just slide back down to the last version we were just doing and just do that one. All right, let those feet touch, but again, don't let those abdominal muscles release. You should start feeling a little bit of a nice warm muscle burn in there. So nice and slow, we're going to bring one foot up, pause it, other foot comes up, pause it right there. Start with your left leg first. So down, tap that toe, bring it up and pause. Same thing with the right. Bring it down, tap, back up and pause. So let everything relax. Keep that belly button pulled in nice and tight, still pressing down against that mat. You're going to exhale that leg down. Inhale as it comes back up towards you. Same thing with the left. Exhale down. Inhale, bring it back up. Just nice and slow, alternating back and forth. Again, keeping that belly button nice and tight. Pulling that lower back down against that mat. You want to try to push as much weight into that lower back as you can. So feel like you're constantly trying to rock those hips in towards you. And freeze it at that tabletop position. Both those legs up there nice and high. If those abs are really starting to get tired on you, go ahead and grab those knees and hug them into your chest. Otherwise, keep them right here. Both feet at the same time. Drop them out. Only as far as you can control. If that lower back starts to lift up, stop and bring them right back up again. Bring them back up. Pause that tabletop position. 90 degree on that knee, 90 degree on that hip. Right back out again. Now, as you start getting more and more tired, as you bring those knees up, they're going to want to start kind of rocking over top of your stomach. Try to keep them out away from you. No further in than that hip joint, and that'll make those abs have to work a lot harder. Just keep it going. Exhale those legs away. Inhale as you bring them back up. Again, trying to press that lower back down flat against that mat the entire time. And hold it right there one more time. Press that, keep those knees right above that hip. Pull that belly button down nice and tight. Hug those knees in if you need to for a little bit of a rest. Extend those legs out nice and straight. Nice and slow. Drop those legs down. Drop that heel all the way down as low as you can, but don't let that knee come in past that hip joint. Extend it right back up again as you exhale. Inhale, slowly drop those heels back down. Again, check that belly button. Make sure you're pulling that stomach in nice and tight. Right back up again. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. About halfway through. Almost done. And nice and quick, you're going to roll over onto your stomach. Let those abs completely relax. Start face down. Hands out straight in front. We're going to do some swimmers first. So left hand, right foot, squeeze it up nice and high. Slowly back down. Let it completely release. Same thing on the other side. Squeeze it up. Back down. Let it relax. Same thing over again. So exhale that arm up. Inhale down. Exhale the other side. Inhale down. Keep alternating back and forth. Face just barely hovering off the ground. Get a tight squeeze at the top every single time. And let it relax for just a second. So keep that chest hovering just a tiny, tiny bit. We're going to move on to the next hardest version of these, which is keeping those hands and feet hovering. So bring them up if you can. Otherwise, just that same version we were just doing. Squeeze it up, back down. Same thing on the other side, back down. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Keep it going. Remember, you can always drop those hands back down on the ground in between each repetition to give you a little bit of a rest. But if you can, keep them hovering. There's about 10 seconds left. And let them drop. Nice and slow. Draw those elbows back to your sides. Get that chest arched up one more time. Nice and slow. You're going to dive forward with those hands. Bring them back to your sides. Tap. Bend that elbow. So it's going to be exhale out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So this is me alternating back and forth the entire time. Just keep those feet up off the ground. Really contract that lower back to try to squeeze those legs up for a little extra effort. Otherwise, just mainly try to keep that chest hovering off the ground. Face looking down towards that mat. Keep those lungs open. Let it relax down for just a second. Easier version of this is going to be hands just underneath that shoulder to give you a little extra support. Otherwise, hands hovering in front of that face are fully extended. You're going to do a nice full back bow. Up, down, a little bit of a hover. Right back up again. Inhale on the way down. Exhale on the way up. Keep it going. Remember, you can always pull those hands back for a slightly easier version. Try to do the full as long as you can. Again, let it relax. All right, roll over onto your left side or your right side. We're going to be switching, so it doesn't matter which one you start with. Knees pulled up nice and close at a 90-degree angle. You're going to reach down like you're trying to touch those toes. This hand up in front is just for a little bit of extra support. If you don't want it or might want to make this exercise harder, cross over your chest. You're just going to reach down, like I said, like you're trying to touch your toes or your ankle. Should be getting a nice tight squeeze in that top oblique from the base of rib cage to the crest of that hip. Squeeze it down. Slowly let it release, but don't let it completely relax. Squeeze it up. So check your abdominal muscles again. Your body doesn't really necessarily need to use them very much for this exercise, but you always want to contract that core whenever you're doing these motions, just to get a little extra tone out of it. So suck that belly button in nice and tight. All right, let's switch sides. Flip it over. So again, easier version out extended, harder version is that arm up on top. Knees coming straight out from those hips and crunch down to the side like you're trying to touch those toes. Exhale on the way up. Inhale on the way down. Remember, tight squeeze with every single repetition. Making sure you're pulling that belly button in nice and tight. Keep that belly button pulled back to that spine. Make sure you're not letting your body start to round forward. You want to try to keep that torso perfectly straight up and down. And let that one relax. We're going to do one more exercise real quick before we take a little bit of a break. So lay flat on your back. Hands straight up. Bring them over top of your head. Crunch up. Little tiny bit of a crunch. And then press through. Try to get a little bit more range of motion. And then nice and slow back down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep that belly button pulled in nice and tight. And let that relax. All right. As the end of our first group, go grab a drink of water real quick. And when we come back in, we're going to start working on those legs. All right, everyone, we're going to start back into those legs. And before we do that, though, we need to limber them up a little bit. So we're going to be starting off with leg climbs. So you're going to be laying flat on your back for this one. Roll around. We're going to do one leg at a time. So bring one leg up. Extend it out as straight as you can. Nice and slow. Walk up that leg as far as you can. And then nice and slow, walk it back down. So we exhaling on the way up. Inhale, slowly come back down again. Again, concentrating on pulling that belly button in nice and tight. Just keep it going. And let that leg relax. Do the same thing on the other side. So bring that opposite leg up. Hold it for just a second. And start up. Exhale. Inhale. Nice full deep breaths. Breathe really, really slowly so you don't run out of room. Work with that quadricep, the front of that thigh, to really get that leg as straight as you can. If it's not perfectly straight, that's fine. You just want to make sure you're feeling a little bit of that stretch through the back of that hamstring. Exhale. Inhale back down. Exhale. Inhale back down. All right, let that one relax. Or lay over on your side. So we're going to be starting off with that top leg first. Nice and slow, you can bring that leg straight up as high as you can, keeping that foot straight forward. So don't open it up to get that extra range of motion. You want to keep that foot facing forward. So nice and slow up, nice and slow back down. So we exhale, inhale. Contract that belly button. Sorry, contract by pulling that belly button in. Again, focusing on that foot, keeping that toe facing straight forward. Let that relax. You can bring that knee up in front. You can either just cross in front, or if it's more comfortable, you can bring that foot up in front of that hip, whichever is more comfortable for you. The other leg you want to keep out nice and straight. Hover it slightly. Squeeze up as tight as you can. Back down, a little bit of a hover. So it's exhale on the way up. Inhale on the way back down. Just take your time. Nice, slow, fluid movement. Concentrating on pulling that belly button in nice and tight. Keep those abs contracted. Exhale up. Inhale down. Nice, big, full, deep breaths each time. Just make sure you're keeping them nice and slow and under control. Just a few more seconds, then we're going to switch sides. Let that relax. Go ahead and switch over to the opposite side. So again, starting with the top leg. Belly button pulled in nice and tight, foot facing straight forward. Bring that leg up, tight squeeze the top, but don't let that toe open. Slowly back down, short little pause at the bottom, don't let it touch. Right back up again. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Just keep it going. Belly button pulled in nice and tight. Abs contracted. Really focusing on keeping that foot straight, facing straight forward. Don't let it open up. Really make that outside thigh have to work. Exhale up. Inhale down. Just a few seconds left to go. Tight squeeze. And let that relax. So that top leg is going to come in front. Remember, either pull that knee up in front, which is perfectly fine, or bring that foot up in front of your hip, whichever is more comfortable. Bottom leg extended out nice and straight, hovering slightly. Exhale it up. Inhale back down, a little bit of a hover, right back up again. Exhale and inhale. Belly button pulled in nice and tight. Core contracted nice and solid. Just concentrate on that motion. Tight, tight squeeze every single time. And let that relax. You're going to roll over onto your back next. So laying flat out, we're going to start with both feet first. Heels pulled in as close as is comfortable. Nice and slow, press those hips up. Slowly back down. Keep a little bit of a gap underneath that butt. Then right back up again. So inhale, slowly drop. Exhale, press it back up. Inhale, drop. Exhale, press it up. Make sure that you're pushing into your heels and not into your toes. We don't want those calves to give out on you. Try to keep those toes kind of up or very, very light on the mat. Belly button pulled in nice and tight. Exhale, press it up. Inhale, slowly back down. Really get a good squeeze of those glutes. All right, go ahead and let them drop back down. We're going to do that 2 more times. You can either do it with both feet again, or you can move up to the harder version with me and do it one leg at a time. So if you're doing one leg, other leg goes to tabletop. Press it up nice and high. Slowly down, a little bit of a hover. Right back up again. Just keep pushing through it. Exhale on the way up. Inhale on the way down. As much range of motion as you can get out of it. 10 seconds left. Let that one relax. We'll do the same thing over on the other side. So bring that right heel in as close as is comfortable. Other leg comes up to tabletop and press it up. Exhale up. Inhale down. Keep that belly button pulled in nice and tight. If it feels more comfortable to you, feel free to extend that leg out completely straight. Otherwise, keep that knee bent. Just go to that happy place. Focus on that range of motion. Exhale up. Inhale down. Keep that little bit of a hover underneath that butt, but don't let it actually completely touch. And let that one relax. All right, roll it over onto your knees. Down on those elbows for a little more range of motion, or you can do it up on your hands, whichever is more comfortable. One leg out, straight back behind you. Squeeze it up nice and tight. Back down. Barely tap that toe to the ground. Right back up again. Tight squeeze the top every single time. Exhale up. Inhale down. Go ahead and let it relax for just 1 second. We're going to give you a little bit of a break, and we're going to go through pulses for a full 50 seconds. So this is going to hurt by the time you're done, but keep pushing through it. So keep that knee bent, about a 90-degree angle, and just squeeze at the very top of that range of motion. Short little pulses. Feel like you're trying to poke a hole in the ceiling with that toe. So really point that toe up there and really, really squeeze the top of that range of motion. Just keep your lungs open. There's no pattern with breathing on this one. It's just going to be keeping those lungs open. Nice big full deep breath in and nice full long exhale. Just keep it going. Probably starting to get a good burn going by now. Just keep pushing through it. Make those muscles burn out. Under 10 seconds. And let that relax. Sit back in those heels for just a second. All right, now we need to do the same thing on the opposite leg. So starting back over with that opposite leg. And starting them up. Exhale on the way up. Inhale slowly back down. Focus on that nice tight squeeze at the top every single time. Pull that belly button in nice and tight. Inhale that leg down. Exhale, press it up. And if you're feeling this hip start to cramp up on you at all, lean a little bit more weight onto that front elbow on the opposite side. That should give it a little bit of a rest. Almost done. And go ahead and let that relax for just 1 second. We have those pulses left. All right. Last round of those pulses. Knee bent. As high as you can at the very top of that range of motion, just a couple of inches. Again, feeling like you're poking a hole in the ceiling with that toe. Keep that toe flexed. Really, really tight squeeze every single time. Just keep those lungs open. Keep that motion going. Almost there, 10 seconds left. Keep pushing through it. Make that muscle burn like crazy. And let that relax. You got one more exercise to go through. Sit up nice and straight and tall. Feet out nice and wide. Flatten that back out. Arms up. Stretch down to that foot. Sorry, I'm doing this opposite here. Stretch to the outside. You're going to rotate those shoulders. Same thing off to the other side. Try to get to the outside of that foot each time. Try to keep those legs nice and straight. So it's exhale down. Inhale back up to the center. Exhale down to the other side. Back up to the center. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Just keep alternating back and forth. You're going to feel those heels kind of trying to dig in a little bit. And set yourself. Just let them go. All right, let them relax. Bring those feet in nice and close together. That was our last exercise, so we need to go through a little tiny bit of a cool down. Keep those feet pulled in nice and close. Use the muscles to the outside of those hips to pull those legs down nice and tight. Nice flat back. Just hold it there for just a few seconds. Go ahead and let that one relax. Keep those feet out just a little bit further in front of you and lay down over top those legs as far as is comfortable. Let that back around. Now flatten that back out really nice and flat. You should feel it transferred from your lower back down into your hip joint as far as where you're feeling that stretch. Just keep pushing forward. And let that relax. One foot out to the side. Stretch down towards that toe. If you can't grab it, that's perfectly fine. Just grab onto that shin anywhere it feels comfortable. Other hand over top. Stretch it down towards that leg. Try to keep that chest pulled open as much as you can. And same thing on the other side. Kick that opposite leg out. Grab that foot and stretch it down. Bring both those feet together, straight out in front. Flex those toes back towards you as much as you can. Start with a flat back. Lean forward until you feel that stretch in those hamstrings. Nice and slow. Round those shoulders over forward. Stretch out towards those toes. Should feel it jump into those hamstrings even more. Now while you're doing this, focus on rotating those feet back and forth. So either in or really trying to open them up out to the side, and you should feel that stretch in a different location. So just keep in mind that the same stretch can be very different just with a little tiny range of motion difference in one of the your feet or your hands or your neck. So always try to focus on getting a little bit different stretch as you go through each one of these. Don't always do it the same. Tuck that chin to your chest. And let that one relax. Go and roll around onto your back. One leg over top. Grab behind the thigh. The other leg, pull it in nice and tight. You should feel that stretch in the glute of the leg you have crossed over top. Switch sides. Pull it in nice and tight. And let that relax. Roll over onto your stomach. Hands down by the base of that rib cage and arch it up. Flex up as high as you can, as high as is comfortable. Nice and slow back down. Sit back into those heels. Walk those hands out away from you. Bring them back down towards those knees. Round that back up. And let it relax. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this Pilates routine. Let me know what you think. If you want one shorter, longer, things you want to include, things you want to take out, be happy to do another one for you. Just let me know. This workout is complete. Thanks for watching.